All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a special Thanksgiving edition of the Rule 34 podcast. I'm Jack, joined by
Dominic Castillo.
And Giovanni.
All right, so we are here on this Thanksgiving day before all our families gather to record a special episode. We wanted to record on Monday as well, but a certain somebody was sick and is still sick and has not healed up, and yet also at the same time has gone to work multiple times in the week while sick.
I mean, it's about the money, except, with the exception of yesterday. It is what it is. Yeah, I had to go through 2 fevers. I am assuming I'm getting off of this current fever. I'm getting better at the moment. I hope to God I don't get a 3rd fever because that'll suck. But, yeah, aside from that, the money is important, yo. I think I'm starting to burden the weight onto myself in terms of putting work over my own health. And, I'm starting to see the consequences of it, kind of, just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. But, you got to get the shmoney, man. It's about the putting the bills down rather than my own health. You feel me? You dig? You know?
I get you, but I propose this point as a counter. Obviously, we all have bills to pay in this life. It's nothing we can't escape, so obviously we need money. But how useful is the money if you end up sick and then you end up in the hospital and then all that money that you worked towards saving up, boom, is gone in an instant because that's how expensive the hospital and hospital bills are.
I moved to Canada. Easier than that.
And then you wait like 5 months to see your doctor.
But free healthcare. Or the UK or Japan or not the US.
I don't know, man. No place is perfect, obviously, but you really gotta look into a place before you move to it.
Yeah, true. What am I thinking here?
Also, like I said, you gotta prioritize your own health, man.
Yeah, for sure. I was supposed to go to work yesterday. I got a call in. Gio went ahead to go work, so I apologize not going along with Gio. I still got a bit of a runny nose. I still had to cough a lot, and so I did not really want to get my sickness onto others, even though there's a lot of people, unfortunately, who are sick, because, the flu season and the winter season is coming down, so it's catching upon many people at the moment. I don't think Gio is sick at the moment, so I think he's Gucci flip-flops. Gio, are you sick? No? Yeah,
no. I have a very strong immune system.
Okay, so Gio is Gucci flip-flop. We're good.
There was a lot of people that called off of work yesterday because of illness.
Yeah.
So they made us wear masks and gloves.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you're staying healthy. And if I remember correctly, because we're back to recording through Discord, but my dad enjoyed the episode we did in person and said, obviously scheduling needs to align, but he'd be more open to more in-person episodes as long as a certain somebody is fully healed up by the time it comes to record in person.
Yeah.
Because that was the only downside was Dominic didn't let us know that he was sick, and he showed up and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sick, but I'm still here to record." And then we charged him like $100 recording fee for that.
It'd be like that sometimes, man. I gotta pay my dues.
But obviously we're talking about sort of how we've been, but I wanna ask you guys this in the spirit of the holidays. Even though some people might find it cringe, but also because my dad proposed the idea because, it'd be interesting just to hear on this Thanksgiving, before we get into our topic, and to go along with us just talking about how we've been since the last time we recorded, what are you guys thankful for this Thanksgiving?
Man,
So we're just gonna skip over my update. All right, cool.
Well, I said along with it because Dom was just talking about his sickness, but it's a combined thing. Talk about how you've been since the last recording and what you're thankful for.
See, since the last recording, which was almost a week from today, it was last Friday. I don't know. I had like a lot of days off this week. It gave me, I guess, time to rest. I don't know. But I was able to work yesterday, which is pretty pog, more money. And it's been pretty fun playing competitive with you, like, given that you have a PC now. Except for, what was it, yesterday? Or the day before?
The day No, it was yesterday.
Yeah, when we were completely, like, humiliated in the worst possible way. But besides that, payday was today. It's pretty nice getting the fruits of your labor. As for what I'm thankful for, obviously family. I wouldn't be here without my family, without my parents who've worked their butts off just to keep us afloat. Thankful for my friends. Because, the boys, where would you be without the boys? Everybody needs the boys. And not in a... what else am I? I'm thankful for my work, for the job that I have. It pays really well. And I'm very fortunate that Dominic hooks me up with with getting me in. I want to get... Well, you guys know we've been trying to get Jose in for a cool minute, but I don't know. It just kind of feels as if maybe our bosses aren't really looking for more people. But I also want to get my brother in because he could use the money. What else am I thankful for? I guess the people that I've met through COVID. On Discord and stuff. I met a lot of interesting people on Discord. What else? I'm grateful for that Twice is still a thing.
Yeah.
Shout out Twice. They're the only ones making good music nowadays.
Stand Twice.
Who else? I think that's... is there anyone or anything? I'm grateful for my PC. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say because it's just an object. But, when I'm not feeling well, I could always turn on my PC, play a video game, and then, that just lifts my spirits. It's my source of happiness at times. So, yeah, I'm grateful that I'm lucky enough to have a PC. That's pretty much it. I think that's everything.
All right. Good to hear Gio's doing well. Shout out all the things he mentioned. Dom, how about you?
I am very grateful for, of course, the families. Everything from my mom's side to my dad's side, all thankfully still being together, staying strong. I'm grateful for my the friends, the bros, the pals, the lads. We're all still here. Thankfully, after so many years, after middle school, after high school, now furthering along into, our college times. And, even if not in college, just overall in the working force per se. Even if not in the working force, we're all still here, right? I'm still thankful for the job opportunities. Working at the crypto has definitely changed everything in terms of my perspective, and not just having to be stuck with a sort of dead end job at a pizzeria. Not gonna lie, that even though I still am thankful for that pizzeria because it introduced me to open up myself to talk with other people. Even if they're absolutely complete strangers, I'm still able to just, I guess, open myself up to talk and to speak up for myself. So at least I'm grateful for that. The crypto arena itself, thankfully, It provides a bit more of an income, so I have a bit more financial freedom than before. I'm thankful for all those Chinese kids in those sweatshops for making all these comfy beds and stuff.
What?
Great.
What?
Look, he's not wrong, but that's such a controversial statement to make.
Also, those poor people in those like sweatshops who are making like GPUs, right? And making our CPUs and our PC.
I wouldn't call them sweatshops, but
I mean, they're technically in very dire conditions to work for very low pay.
You know what? Shout out Dom for bringing attention to something that happens in the world that we don't speak enough on.
It's a horrible thing, man. But that's the life we live in, man. You know, it's
shout out modern slavery.
I have to be thankful for the Japanese for the mouse pad.
Oh my god! All right, Dom.
Okay, all right. Okay, cool. But in all seriousness, thankful for my family, my friends, you guys, everybody, all the people listening to the podcast who stuck with us this whole entire time.
Shout out the 6.2 thousand views on that one episode of the podcast.
It was a classic.
Classic.
And yeah, thanks to the viewers. And yeah, PogChamp.
Dude, shout out Hezbollah.
Hezbollah?
Yeah.
Our homie. Oh, okay. There's there's 32 minutes left, so I'll keep mine short so we can start by the 30-minute mark. But as far as this past week, I've been good. Been using the PC, like Gio said. Thankful for my friends to do such a kind act for me. I've already bought not bought because it was technically on sale, basically for free on Steam. But I got my first game and I've been playing that, having fun with that. As far as Thanksgiving, obviously, you know, the other two mentioned it. People might think it's cliche, but obviously, you know, gotta shout out, you know, thankful for my family and my friends and all the impact they've had on my life. You know, as I was telling my dad the other day, you know, I'm thankful for every experience I've had with everybody in my life, whether good or bad, because it's shaped me into the person I am today. And I wouldn't change that even if I could, you know. Obviously, I'm thankful for the great friends that I have that, you know, they've stuck with me in this life. And, you know, I've had such an impact on their life that they're willing to do stuff like get me a PC just so I can play with them. I'm obviously thankful for the podcast because it's provided me a platform to talk about things that I've wanted to talk about, but, you know, didn't really see any point in time when it would be brought up or who I could bring it up to, you know, multiple different things that I can just talk about, whether it's with the guys, with Mr. Solis, or just alone on the sports podcast, ranting about things that are likely going through my brain at 3 a.m. What else am I thankful for this Thanksgiving? I'm thankful for all the things that God has allowed me to do this past year, and you know, if I can get a bit personal real quick and just say real quickly, I'm really thankful that this year I'm thankful that this year that I am back in control of my life after years of not being in control, and I'm just thankful that I've taken control and that I've done so many great things this year and can't wait for all the great things I do in the years to come, you know. So many things I've done this year that I just couldn't have imagined myself doing during that period of time where, you know, took a trip to Colorado for my cousin's wedding. I went to a Post Malone concert. We're going to AEW next year. I'm going to a Paramore concert next year. Very thankful that I got out of that hole and that, you know, it's a bit premature because it hasn't happened yet, but I'm thankful and, you know, just asking God, you know, to let me see January 7th this year because I will be turning 21. And back when I was 16, 17, I didn't even think I'd make it to 18. And yet here I am, hopefully going to make it to 21. So thankful for that, and thankful for just every day of my life, because there was a period of time where I didn't even think I'd live past every single day. But thankful for it all. Thankful for you too as well, for always being here and letting us pursue this little hobby of ours in podcasting. And so I'm thankful for all that. And we'll transition into our main topic of today, which is Thanksgiving themed as always. Since we're here on Thanksgiving Day, we are doing a tier list for Thanksgiving foods. Now, this list, it does have a few odd items on it that you kind of look at, and there's some items that some people may think are left off, but I think that just kind of goes to show how diverse Thanksgiving is, that so many different people have different dishes on Thanksgiving, and also it depends on what culture you're from and what dishes you make for Thanksgiving, but so this one's kind of it has the base dishes that you see almost at most Thanksgivings, and also has a couple that you're just, I don't know, I think for the most part these are pretty generic in a sense. There's maybe some variety in terms of certain dishes that as we'll get to see, but I think it's about, let's see, 4 2 that's 8 9 10 11 12 13 14, what is that, 14 items, right? 14 or 15, I don't know, but we'll get right into it. Dom, which item do you want to start us off with?
I want to begin with the most popular options. Okay, what do we say about this option, pumpkin pie? To some, it might seem overrated, but to me, I honestly don't care, and it's still delicious. Pumpkin pie, I feel like, even though it's been practically the same, I guess a staple in terms of the common food, I guess pie to sort of purchase on Thanksgiving. It might seem like a cheapskate to some to just purchase in case if you're in a quick need of for a
dessert,
for a dinner per se, for a party or for any normal social gathering, especially in the case of Thanksgiving. But I feel like it's still delicious. It's still good. However, it's easily eaten up because normally it's served in such small little portions. But I still think that pumpkin pie still dominates, and I would rank it into S.
Honestly, real quickly, Don, I want to say, because you brought up the whole thing about portions, you've been to my birthdays, you've seen how my mom cuts the cake. She could probably make pumpkin pie last for seconds for everyone, probably.
True.
Gio, what do you give pumpkin pie?
Okay, well, I do agree with Dominic. Pumpkin pie is S tier for sure, especially with a little bit of homemade whipped cream made from scratch. So much better than the canned stuff. But I will say that to the people that think that pumpkin pie is overrated, pumpkin pie is the only pumpkin related food object that is not overrated. All the pumpkin spice lattes and literally anything else pumpkin flavored around Thanksgiving, around autumn, that's overrated. Pumpkin pie is the OG. Put some respect on his name, and it's definitely S tier.
All right. I've never had it. I've had other pies, and I just don't like pie in general. But I've never had pumpkin pie, so I can't rate it. But Jill, pick our next item. What food are we going with next?
The next one's going to be kind of controversial in my opinion because of where I placed it. We're going to go with the good old ham.
Ham, all right. Where do you guys rank ham?
I put ham on F.
I have ham in F as well.
Oh, for real? So we agree. Dominic, what about you?
I put ham on C. But it's not as bad. I mean, the way it's been served to me, because we have another family member who I don't know how they cook it, but they just cook it so well, so good, it's so juicy, But it's not always, it's not Thanksgiving. It's just ham,
Yeah, and funny enough, my dad, anytime he's brought it up, he doesn't like ham. My dad doesn't really like pork products as a whole, but he doesn't like ham, especially on Thanksgiving, because anytime he eats it, it gives him heartburn.
Oh, I see.
It's a good reason not to like it.
And I don't like ham because I don't know what it is about it. Like it just, I don't know. Like I've seen people who prefer ham over turkey on Thanksgiving, and I don't know how they do it because it just doesn't live up to the main dish for me. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not to say that whenever it's made it tastes bad. I just don't like it. You know. It's just not my preference.
It's a personal taste kind of thing.
Yeah.
When we used to go to my uncle's house, he used to like gas up his ham a lot because he got it from, I don't know, I forgot the name of the location, but it was like this like very like it was like highly recommended place. Like you had to have like order your ham like 2 months in advance to even have one, and like the lines took forever. It's like honey ham something, I don't know. And he was like gassing it up like up to Thanksgiving, and then I tried it and I was like, this is literally just ham. And I don't know, I personally don't like the taste of ham. Like I'll eat it on a sandwich, but like individually, like in the slices that they give us during Thanksgiving, it's just like, it's a pass for me.
All right. I guess I would choose our next item. Let's go with mashed potatoes. What are your guys' opinions on mashed potatoes?
Oof. I feel like...
I put mashed potatoes on A because it says Thanksgiving staple. Like I don't know, it's always going to be there. And with a little bit of gravy, it tastes really good.
All right, what about you, Dom?
I also put potatoes, especially mashed potato. I don't think it really matters if it's mashed potatoes, potato puree, my bad, and or potato salad. But I put it in A because it is indeed a staple. It's always going to be on the dinner table. I've never had it with gravy. I never really had anything with gravy, I'll be honest. Because I don't know why I just never tried anything with gravy. Just to me, it just feels like it's sort of like just a lot of fat, or in my view. But the potato salad itself, it's really good, especially of course if it's warm. It's nice. Sometimes it's served cold. Some people have their preferences, but I feel like it's really good. It's really good.
All right,
especially with and stuff. But that's me.
I also have it at A, like it says Thanksgiving staple. Really good. It usually always hits, no matter where you're getting from, no matter who's making it, And I guess we'll quickly transition into the next food because Dom brought it up and it pairs well with it. Gravy. Where do you guys have gravy ranked at?
I'd put gravy. I never had because I never had gravy. So I can't really put much of an opinion, dog.
You're missing out, Dom. I put it at B just because I know it's technically like a Thanksgiving staple. Because really, when it comes to a lot of the Thanksgiving foods, though, even if it's cooked and prepared well, where you don't have to worry about certain items being dry, I put it at B because it's like, I don't think it's something that you use and, because it's technically like, if you want to say like a side dish to the side dishes, but like you're going to use it basically every year on everything, like the mashed potatoes, on your turkey or ham, whatever choice of meat you're using, but like you're usually always using it every year, but it's not like it's one of the highlights of every Thanksgiving year, so I put it at B. What about you, Jim?
For me, I put it on C. Hit or miss because it depends on the amount that you put on your stuff. Because I know, like, there's been like a few times we went over to like a family member's house, and then they took it upon themselves to put the gravy on for you, without asking like how much you want, and like they put way too much. So like my entire plate was covered in gravy. And I was like, you literally just ruined my food. But like, just like a little bit, like not a lot, just like a little bit is like the perfect amount. Put it like on top of your mashed potatoes to add a little bit more, or on top of like your turkey to give a little bit more flavor or whatever. Just a little bit, not like go easy on it, and then it'll be fine. But if you just like pour it like your life depended on it, you're literally ruining your food.
I understand that reason. Very good reason. Dom, what's our next one?
Apple pie, or apple cobbler, whatever. Apple pie. Yeah. Apple pie being the opposite dominant of pumpkin pie. I feel like it's either, for me, I'm gonna put it on B because I never really had it as much. But I feel like apple pie is somewhat just kind of ignored and just put on the side. But I feel like it's still good. It's, you know, it's still to be enjoyed. It's not that bad of a food. It's just simply pie with just apple slices or, you know, apple bits just diced into it with a bit of a what are that, like applesauce? Not applesauce, but you know, like apple syrup, applesauce, you know, within the pie. And I feel like it's pretty good. It's not that bad of a pie. But I feel like it's put off to the side, you know, most likely, you know, as it's to be preferred over, not to be preferred over pumpkin pie per se. But I'm gonna put it on B.
What about you, Gio?
I also put it on B because it's, I don't know, like my family is more of a pumpkin pie, like, you know, leaning towards that side than over apple pie. Because, I don't know. Like, I like apple pie. Apple pie's goated, but it's just not for Thanksgiving. Like, it might be there in case, you know, someone doesn't like pumpkin pie, but it's, like, very rare in, like, my experience to see apple pie at a Thanksgiving dinner.
All right. I've never had apple pie, so I can't rank it.
Why?
I don't like pies. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably a texture thing. I just don't like the way pie is, though. I've had a couple of other pies, not those two flavors, though.
That's a wild statement.
It is a wild statement. Jill, what's our next item we're ranking?
Our next item is... I mean, this one's pretty easy. Mac and cheese. Where are we going with the mac and cheese, boys?
I think this is an obvious one, right?
Well, let's see if it's obvious. Dominic, where'd you put it?
I'm going to put it on A level. Mac and cheese, although to some it might not be an absolute staple of Thanksgiving. However, throughout the years, and I have cooked it before, and it's pretty good. However, my only expectations of it has been slightly tampered with, because last time I tried it out, I got food poisoning from mac and cheese.
Wow.
How do you get food poisoning from mac and cheese?
Cheese? Was it like outdated?
It was probably not cooked right or just outdated, and I got sick to my stomach, yo, and it was not pleasant. It was not pleasant at all. And I felt pretty bad. But I mean, on to my other times I had mac and cheese. It wasn't that bad. It's pretty good.
I got mac and cheese at S tier because it is just one of the most perfect dishes. Although, kind of similar to what Dom's saying, though, you do have to worry from time to time about who's preparing it. Thankfully, I have a mom who has years of experience of just cooking absolute bangers year after year, so I don't have to worry about that experience. But you do have to worry with some people, man. Some people go real weird with their food. A certain demographic that I won't mention.
It rhymes with bright.
It rhymes with bright. We'll go with that. But what
it's
about
not
you,
black people, so...
What about you, Gio?
I put macaroni and cheese at S tier because goated.
It's good.
And it does depend on who makes it, because there's been times where I had like very dry mac and cheese when it was literally just the pasta and no cheese. I don't know how that happens. But when like they go all out and they put like triple cheeses, like a bunch of like different kinds of cheeses, and then they put it in the oven to like top it off with that like cheese crust on top. Oh, yeah. Dude, that's so good.
Let me ask you guys this while we're on the topic. When it comes to mac and cheese, what do you prefer? When the cheese is like really sticky and melted on to the pasta, or when it's like, I guess if you want to say like a cheesy soup in a way? What do you guys prefer?
cheesy soup.
Cheesy soup.
Yeah, I think I'll go. I think I enjoy it more with a soupy, but I do like sometimes, depending on how it's prepared, when it's like, it's not necessarily dry, but like it's obviously still like a sauce, but it adheres to the pasta more. But you know, obvious S tier from Gio and I, and then Dom obviously gives it an A because of his one-time experience with it. But moving on, I think we can knock out 3 items in one go because they fall under the same category, but they're just different variations of it. Biscuits, dinner rolls, and then cornbread. Now, cornbread's more leaning towards the dessert side, but where do you guys rank these 3 individually?
Dude, if I'm honest, I put all 3 of them on never had. Because I've never had them at a Thanksgiving dinner. Like, I've had them, like, elsewhere, but not at a Thanksgiving dinner. And that's kind of like what I'm basing my, my tier list on. But if I'd probably put the dinner rolls, if I were to try them, like, probably, like, A. Because they just look really good. Like, they're, like, glazed with, like, some butter on top. Toasted and shit. Oh, my bad. And then I don't know. I don't have confidence in cornbread because from like all the memes and stuff, it's like dry biscuits 50-50 because they might be too dry and then you just choke to death. But yeah.
What about you, Dom? Where do you have each of these 3 individually ranked?
So I have cornbread and biscuits at C because although I haven't had the best of experiences when trying them out, I'll be honest. I don't think they were always that delicious, or not always that much of a staple in terms of Thanksgiving dinner. However, dinner rolls absolutely slap. I put them up at A. You can never go wrong with dinner rolls; they're always delicious. You could always sometimes substitute them for Hawaiian rolls. I mean, people don't really notice, don't care, but either between the two, in terms of dinner rolls or Hawaiian rolls, they're always just so good just to have either at least 1 or 2 on the side. And it's just good, man. It's just warm fluffiness in your mouth. Easy as that.
All right. So for me, I have cornbread and C because, like it says, it's hit or miss. It really depends on how it's made. Like Gio said, it can be really dry sometimes. And then plus, I'm also not really a sweets guy, so that's why I have it at C. Biscuits, I have it at B because, like Gio said, again, it can be like, it depends, what you're having with it, Like, it can almost feel overwhelming at some points, especially with the biscuits texture and having to pair that with all the other stuff at Thanksgiving. It could be a dangerous game you're playing there, especially if you're out of something to drink and you haven't gotten a refill yet, But like Dom, I have dinner rolls at S tier because I feel like that's the perfect sort of bread piece you pair with Thanksgiving because it just fits well with all the different items. It fits well with whatever your main item is, whatever your sides are, Just absolutely goes hard every time. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we have 5 items remaining, and we know what we're saving for last, right? So, Dom, pick another item. What are we ranking next? Keep in mind that we have about 10 minutes remaining, so let's try and speed run.
The stuffing. Any sort of stuffing. I would put it into. Personally, I never had stuffing. I feel like I've had it a couple times, but I don't think it's ever, I guess, elevated my sort of experience when it came to the dinner side of things. It's always been of a weird, on and off thing every Thanksgiving. I guess it's decent, but it's just how would you say it's never been the staple per se. So I'm gonna put stuffing into C. That's just me.
I've never had stuffing, so I can't rank it. Gio, what about you?
I put stuffing on B. Just because it's likely to be on your plate. Is it good?
I feel like all the other stuff probably masks it. Because, like, for Dom, you know how he said he doesn't know if he's ever had it, or like he thinks he's had it. I think it's something that maybe, especially like if someone else is preparing your plate, they probably put it on there for you, and you just didn't notice because all the other food sort of masks its taste.
Yeah, I think last Thanksgiving, my aunt actually like gave stuffing on the side too. I don't know. It wasn't. It's all right. It's not the best. It's not like game changing, but it's edible.
All right, and I guess we'll move quickly to another sort of like side, if you want to say, cranberry sauce. I've never had it. I'm gonna be honest. I probably will never try it in a sense because I just don't see what it adds to the whole dinner as a whole, which is why I've never had it. It's not because I think it's gonna taste bad, because it's not like cranberries taste bad, but I just look at it, I'm like, I look at it sort of in the way of like, what's the point of it being there? But maybe it's because I'm missing out. So I don't know. Where do you guys have ranking? And maybe you guys can like tell me like, oh, like it's worth having on your plate or not.
Dominic, have you ever eaten it?
I've never had it.
Alright, so none of us have tried it, so
That's
can't
an
really
easy
help you out.
one.
with
Yeah,
that.
that's an easy one right there. Just never had it. Moving on to maybe another one that maybe the three of us have never had. I know of this because my brother likes to make it. Green bean casserole. Have you guys ever had it? I've never had it.
I've never had it.
Same. I've never had it. I think I've had it, but I don't think I've had it. Kind of like
Enough to
never
remember.
had it. Yeah, I don't remember if I had it.
All right. So two more items left. It's funny that we left this one right before the obvious last one to talk about, but this one's kind of random because I don't know. I just saw like, I guess you could say like a couple people bring it up, and I just never noticed. I guess if you want to say in a sense, it's some people's way of just having some type of like vegetable on your plate during Thanksgiving, so it doesn't look as bad. If you want to say corn or corn on the cob.
I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen corn at a Thanksgiving dinner.
Neither have I. That's what I'm saying. I was so confused when I was hearing people bring it up, and that's why I said I feel like it's people's way of just sliding vegetables in there so that they could feel like, you know, oh look, we it's not all unhealthy, you know.
Yeah, I feel like you would see corn like that, like still on like the stem, I guess you could call it, and like like different cultures, you know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, like if you were to see corn at like a Mexican Thanksgiving, it's probably like in a esquite form,
Yeah.
or like something like that.
Yeah, which is why for this tier list, I put it at C because I really need my corn prepared a certain way for me to like really enjoy it and like it, you know.
Yeah, I put it on C too. What about you, Dominic?
I put corn on C as well. I've rarely ever had it, and the only time I don't like the corn is when it gets stuck between your teeth, and it's hard to dig them out. But aside from that, it's sometimes good, but it's not always the best per se.
It just needs to be prepared a certain way. Maybe it's
Exactly.
because of all the years of like when you go to the local man that's like by your school and he's serving up corn and he puts like all the stuff on it, like what was it, butter, mayo, the cheese, the chili and all that, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of all the years used to that, you know, but it's like it has to be prepared a certain way, and it can't just be served plain, you know.
True.
If you're serving it to me plain, I at least need some type of hot sauce with it. But we move on to the final Thanksgiving food. You should already have known what it's going to be, having to save it for last. Turkey. Where are we ranking turkey, guys?
I put it on A.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving staple.
put it on
L.
L. I put it on S, bro.
Okay.
You like turkey that much, dude?
It's. I mean, what else are you gonna not expect at the table?
True. I like turkey, although sometimes it can be a bit dry sometimes, which is why you need the gravy. But I put it at A because, you know, it's a Thanksgiving staple. It's usually always good, you know. my family doesn't make it all the time because, all the hours you have to put into cooking for it, to make sure it comes out well, comes out on time, and all that. So they don't do it as much, especially because we don't want to burden my mom with all that labor, on a day where it's usually meant to relax. And so, but I also have it at A because though a ton of people are going to look at this as unconventional for like a Thanksgiving, I guess you could say. I put it at A because usually on Thanksgiving, I'm eating ribs, and that would be at S tier if it was on this list. That's my sort of preferred main dish when it comes to Thanksgiving. Unorthodox, yes, but if they're not there, then obviously turkey is a well substitute. I have it at A. What about you guys?
I would take ribs over turkey any day of the week.
Yeah,
turkey's all right, but the ribs, that's where it's at.
I didn't plan properly for today. I'll probably have to change once dinner time comes. I'm wearing a white shirt. That's not going to go well. But what do you think, Dom? Do you think turkey is like the above all for Thanksgiving? Or is there another dish that you like look at in favor towards?
Well, sometimes if we don't have turkey, sometimes we just just cook up multiple, chickens and stuff like that. Sometimes we do cook up a goat. A whole.
I remember that photo. I remember that photo you sent.
Yep. For those who don't know, I'm pretty sure it's a staple of Mexican culture as well. Basically, you cook an entire goat beneath the soil with like a bunch of surrounded by bricks, surrounded by a lot of aluminum foil, all heated up for for hours. Usually, you have to begin the day before in the morning sometimes. Just so you could begin cooking up, goats and stuff like that. Borrego, stuff like that. And it comes out really good. Although it sounds weird to many, for those who don't know, usually the end result is always a really, it's just really good. It's personally, it's been really good. If we don't, sometimes we don't always get the turkey. Or sometimes we're just simply late to even get a turkey because they're always sold out or very long lines at the supermarkets or our local markets as well.
I remember one time, I think it was either in middle school or like the first year or two of high school, Dom sent me a photo of his family right there with that goat basically out, laying out, and they were just eating out of it. And I was like, dude, that looks crazy. And it's crazy when you heard Gio. Gio was surprised to hear about the goat, and this is the first time I've heard Gio out Mexican.
No, I know about the goat, goat birria and all of that stuff. I know about that stuff. I just wouldn't expect it from Dominic, I guess. But
yeah, man.
I don't know. It's kind of like I'm not like I'll eat birria, but it has to be tell me after you got the goat, you killed the goat, you prepared the goat. Don't even mention the goat. That's not the way
they do it. That's not the way they had it right there. They had its carcass right there, basically. Still.
Yeah, don't tell me that the goat existed, because then I won't be able to enjoy the meat. I hate, you buying an animal, making it walk all day and just to kill it. I can't get behind that. It's good. I just can't get behind the whole. Oh, let's make it a whole occasion. Watch the goat die in front of all these people. I can't get behind that.
Well, I mean,
but that's just me. You do what you want to do.
Hey, and to not interrupt with 40 seconds left, thank you all for joining for this special Thanksgiving edition of the Rule 34 podcast. I've been Jack, joined by
Dominic Castillo.
Thanksgiving Lover 05.
All right. Thank you all for joining for this episode. We hope you all have a good Thanksgiving. And as always, if it exists, we have an opinion on it. Thank you, and we will catch you on the next episode.